YouTube, what's going on? My name's Steven. Thanks so much for tuning in. How's my homies doing? So today we're going to be talking about recording equipment, my process, and what I think to be is the fastest and easiest way to record yourself either with just audio or audio and video. So let's just jump into it. My process with recording has actually been pretty complicated. I started out thinking that I needed everything and that the more equipment I had, the better I was going to sound, and the better I sounded, that was going to benefit me in getting into certain music festivals. And although that may be true to some degree, I slowly found myself simplifying my setup, finding better equipment that was just easier to use and produce the same, if not better quality with less of a headache for me. So I started out with, was a Zoom H5, and I used that as a stereo pair, and then I would put an XLR mic, an Audio Technica 2020 in the XLR. So I would have two audio sources, and then I would have a video source. I have a Canon 80D that I've been using, and I would use that. So I'd have, overall three setups, one for the video source, one for the audio, and then another audio condenser source. So I ended up having to deal with three sources, all not really connected, because even when you take the Zoom SD card, it's filed in at two different files. They don't put it together. So I was finding myself doing actually a lot of editing just to even get the proper setup, just to send to an audition or a pre-screening, something like that. So I slowly simplified it into what I have now, which is a USB mic, which is the Rode USB mic. It'll be linked in the description below. It's right here. You can see. You can do anything from like commentating on it to performing. I do a lot of my recordings with this now. I did some with the Sarasota Orchestra over the summer. I do it to send pre-screenings and everything. I just hook this thing up. It has a 20-foot long cable, and it does everything I needed to do. And for a lot of musicians, I think this is going to be exactly what you need. So you have that, and it goes directly into your computer, and you have that audio file there right off the get-go. The next thing is going to be a video source. Now, this is where I decided to simplify things. Of course, I have a Canon 80D that I could use if I really wanted to, but most phones these days take 1080p video, and that's really all you need, especially for something that's not going to be at a production level. You're not making music videos here. You're simply showing a well-organized, a well-presented product, and anything above 1080p is probably not going to be your best bet. A lot of the time, I just take my phone, I either put it on a stand, like an extra stand, and face it towards me, just making sure I have the right angle, which I'll talk about in the next video. With the phone, you can also, get like a mount. I have a little Joby mount that I got at Best Buy. There are probably cheaper ones on Amazon that I'll link in the description as well. But essentially what it does is you just take it, you just take the two right here, and you just stretch it out, and then you can put this on a mount, and then you have more control over what you want to be doing, which is great, but honestly, that's not even a necessity. You can put this on a stand and you'll be totally fine. And then the last thing is making sure that you have a mic stand. That's probably going to be your biggest thing, because you want your mic to be put in the right place, because that's how you're going to sound the best, really, at the end of the day. There's a lot of the Zooms do like 2-in-1, where they have video and audio in the same place, but the issue with that is usually the best video placement is not going to be the best audio placement, especially for a stereo pair. So it's kind of a catch-22. There's actually a handful of trade-offs that go in both the audio and the video just for picking up that 2-in-1. So the most streamlined thing for me is this. I set up my USB mic on the computer. I have that going on something like Logic. You could also use Audacity. Then from there, I put a phone either on a music stand or a mount that I have, depending on your budget or whatever it may be. But at the lowest level, you could put it on another stand or something comparable to that, and to get the angle. And then to put them together, I simply just upload the video. If I have AirDrop, I'm going to AirDrop it to my Mac. And if I don't, I'm most likely going to upload it to Dropbox or Google Drive, something like that, so I can have everything in one place and be totally fine. That is the easiest way. I find it the most simplistic way that you can do it. You can, of course, scale your production level if you want to get lighting, or if you want to get recording equipment, better equipment, or something like the Zoom where you take multiple inputs just to get a better quality. You can do that further down the road. Just start simple. It's already enough of a headache in the first place. And you'll most likely, if you don't know how to do this or don't have the proper equipment, you'll most likely be asking for friends to do that, and they'll most likely charge you. I did a small recording business in my undergrad where I, charged 75 bucks just to set up my equipment for somebody in order to send up their audition process. I don't want you to have to go through that process. It's very simple. All you need are these things, that some of which you actually may already have, like your phone. So just keep it simple, keep it real. That's my piece. Thanks for listening, homies. Really appreciate it. Make sure to like the video. Leave a comment on what you guys think is the easiest thing for you to be recording, or if you have any questions or concerns, I'm here for you. Remember that. My name's Steven. Stick with the process. I'll catch you guys later.